You didn't like
It's
it?
just like Jared Leto and Barry feel like they're on the same level to me.
No way,
It
bro.
well, honestly, it's a splice. Like when I first saw that clip, I was thinking, I think they're going a little too weird. Even though it's supposed to be realism, it's getting weird, like even more weird than Joker, which is really weird to say.
Well, Matt Reeves has said that he this version of Joker has like a birth defect in his face, so he can't stop smiling, and then obviously he's, by the looks of it, like mutilating his own face or whatever. Like, and I think they're gonna pull on the story on the comic run where he cuts his face off, and yeah, like I think he'll get his face back then, and he'll like have it stapled to his face and stuff. Like, it seems like they're going very kind of dark and gritty, which I'm all about. And I think I kind of got to get a mix of like Hamill from him. Like Hamill's, his laugh kind of sounded a little Mark Hamill-y, and he reminded me of the young Joker that was in the Gotham show, played by the dude who's Cal Kestis. I kind of got a mix between the two of them.
That was my problem, because I think he looks great. Like, I think the prosthetics and all that look great. I like the backstory of that idea that he can't stop smiling. Awesome. But like, it was so cheesy. It felt like Gotham. It felt like a overrated TV show of a character. I couldn't get into it. Like, I felt like he was so out of place within this Batman universe that Matt Reeves built, that kind of felt like it was grounded and kind of real in a little bit in a way, but still kind of felt like it had this, fantasy aspect to it. And then I got to him, and it was like it was a bridge too far, and I did not like his Joker performance there. He was just too over the top, too into it.
Yeah, too much like an inmate, not enough like a Joker.
Yeah,
because no matter where you place Joker, he's going to be the Joker. Just because he's in a cell doesn't make him any different from who he is.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Mark Hamill, even though like Mark Hamill's, the way he plays it is so much more laid back, right? Where he doesn't feel like he's I don't know how to describe it. Like, he feels crazy but not out of his mind, and this Joker just feels out of his mind. Like, he's
completely.
I think that's a quite accurate like portrayal of the comic version of the Joker, though. And I think that like Matt Reeves is trying to make this a comic book like adaptation. Like, so personally, I love it. I think it's great. But I can see why people wouldn't like it. It's not for everybody.
I mean, you don't think Mark Hamill's was comic book accurate, and the stuff in the Arkham series?
It was, but I think that the two of them are very similar. This version
Really?
of this version of Joker, I think, is just like twisted, which the Joker is.
Well, I would say like one of the positives about the Mark Hamill Joker, especially like in the animated series, is the fact that he's not necessarily tied to his smile. Like, he can frown, he can have expressions, and that's something that I really like about the Joker in the animated series. When they just stretch the face because of any sort of accident, I mean, that's fine and all, but like I do like the aspect of him being just a clown-faced kind of person that can have expressions of their own, especially when they're upset with the fact that things are going like not their way. And it's really tough when you have prosthetics. Like, even though you couldn't really see Barry Keoghan's like face too well, you could tell like it was really hard for him to move his lips.
And to me,
His teeth are so messed up and all. I think it's great,
Yeah.
man. I think it's great.
To me, it's just the performances. It was so like edgelord almost, right? I'm just like, ugh, like, I don't need this. Like, it's the same as Jared Leto, same as Gotham Theories. Like, I just don't feel like they capture this kind of like laid backness to the Joker that I think like Jack Nicholson captured. I think Heath Ledger captured that very well, where they were crazy, but they were kind of laid back in it and felt secure. It felt like they already, even though they were coming off as crazy, they were completely in control of the situation, what was going on. And, this guy is he's just so weird because he's so drawn out with everything he's saying. Like, I just,
I can agree with that. It starts to sound a little bit like Harley Quinn almost.
Yeah. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And it is the same way I felt about him during the quick scene they had in Arkham with the Riddler, of just not like, I don't like that portrayal of the Joker.
Fair.
The one thing I do have to say about Jack Nicholson's Joker is the fact that like those movies back then were still kind of trailing off, and I think this is one of the things that I think is also like a gift and a curse when it comes to Batman movies. When you have a big hit, the rest of the movies that follow that same method. And so when you think about it, like 66 Batman, you know, it's very campy, a bunch of fun stuff is going on. They're always like trying to one up each other in a sense. And then you see Jack Nicholson's portrayal and he's literally trying to, you know, one up Batman and one up like, you know, the whole storyline and setting. And it works because like that the movie's just designed that way. When Heath Ledger did such a good job, that's when everything shifted. And now everything needs to be around like a villain that has this weirdness about their physique. And in addition to that, like I think they're like the acting starts to kind of drag after a while due to the fact that like you can't really compete against that Joker. Like it's so hard to do. And I wanted to correct myself from the last time when I said that Jared Leto was a method actor. I forgot to think about the fact that Heath Ledger is also a method actor, but he was just really good at it. Like he did everything he could to make sure that he felt like he was the Joker. But it's just strange how like so many people try to tack on from the previous stuff. And then it spirals out of control and then they have to try something new again.
I think I was listening to an interview with somebody and I can't remember who it was. I don't think it was Leto, but it was somebody about the Joker. Maybe it was Heath Ledger. But it was like I think he said something along the lines of like, you know, he was so nervous when he was preparing for the role because he just had in his head the whole time, don't be Nicholson, don't be Hamill. Like, you know, he's like, do your own thing. Like, I'm pretty sure it was Heath Ledger. And yeah, it's just, yeah, like I think that's why that one was such a success, because he actually went out of his way to be a different character, like be a different Joker. So yeah, look, I'm not gonna, obviously I feel like we can't really judge the new Joker yet, like we've only seen so little, like, but for what I've seen, I've definitely liked, because it to me portrays how, like, because even like if you see his hair, like it's like he's like butchered his hair with a fucking with like a fucking scissors or a knife or something, like, you know, he's just completely batshit crazy, like, and that's the Joker that I love, like, you know, that's the Joker I love reading about, and I want to see that on the big screen.
Yeah, I definitely love all of his prosthetics and stuff. I think the look is really cool and interesting. It's really hilarious how every iteration of the Joker, they're just like, no, more acid on the face. He was bigger, it was badder.
Yeah.
Each one of them just kind of looks more gruesome, and I think it looks great. I like that take on that. I just think that they need to not, you know, he just needs to be a little bit brighter. He needs to not be so sparsed out with his words. Like, he needs to be less weird in a sense. Like, he comes off as like weird for the sake of being weird. And it's just not my favorite. I'd rather something, you know, not that I want them to just like take Mark Hamill's performance, but I feel like Mark Hamill's performance and everything he's done from the animated series down to the Arkham series and stuff that's Joker. That's Joker from the comic books put on to the screen. And it's just, you know, he's not this weirdly tortured soul. Like, he's having fun the whole time. Like, you can tell he's having fun. And this Joker just looks like he's played more tortured.
Right. And like, I completely agree with that. And I totally see that, Hoffman, because yeah, it's like, he's weird, but everyone knows Joker is crazy. There's a difference. Like, you can be as weird as possible, but nobody's going to think you're crazy if you're just weird.
Yeah. Pinto just won't take a shot at anyone from Ireland. And I respect it. I really do.
That's
fine. Not genuinely no. I honestly, he could be this. Anyone could be portraying him here. Like, it's just the fact that he's an Irish person is just, you know, it's a nice it's a nice little bonus for me. But it's not. I'm not being biased here just because he's you know.
I just saw the trailers for the Eternal. He's like, even in the trailer for the Eternals, he's like, he's the hero. He's the main character. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Hoffman, from the Marvelous Chats Podcast. You just got done watching a clip from that podcast, the Marvelous Chats Podcast. You can find a link to that entire episode over here, down in the description, in the comment section, wherever you just want to click around. You can go watch that entire episode to see everything else we talk about, because we talk about all the Marvel stuff, all the Star Wars stuff, all the geeky stuff that you see around the internet that you want to watch or listen to our opinions on. It's down in there. All right, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping in and checking us out. We'll see you guys on the next video. Later, everyone.